The judgment on Jerusalem and Judah shows the mathematical result of systemic defiance. The entire societal structure shatters into a literal heap of ruins. This destruction is entirely self-inflicted. The city's collapse is the inevitable consequence of a population that openly parades its sin like Sodom and publicly defies the Lord without a hint of shame. This chart tracks the immediate removal of all essential societal provisions. Supply lines for food and water drop straight to zero. Simultaneous to this drain, competent leadership is stripped away. Military heroes, judges, prophets, and craftsmen are systematically eliminated. This creates an immediate, devastating power vacuum. In the absence of elders and experienced leaders, mere youths are handed official titles, placing children in absolute authority over adults. Desperation reaches the point where men beg their relatives to take charge of the ruins, solely on the qualification that they still own a single cloak. Even then, the requests are refused. Without moral governance and basic provisions, civil society instantly evaporates. The young rise up against the old, devolving into violent neighbor-against-neighbor oppression. The text then shifts perspective to a divine courtroom, where the Lord takes his place specifically to judge these corrupt elders and leaders. The primary charges are brought directly against the elite class. They have utterly ruined the nation, described here as the Lord's vineyard, by systematically crushing and grounding the faces of the poor. This flow visualization maps the physical evidence used in this court, the continuous transfer of resources and wealth away from the poorest tier of society, stockpiled directly into the bloated private estates of the leadership. Systemic exploitation and the active plundering of the vulnerable by those in power guarantees complete institutional failure. The leadership has destroyed the very foundation they stand on. The judgment then addresses a secondary demographic, the haughty, materialistic upper class. This is represented by the wealthy women of Zion, visibly parading their arrogance with outstretched necks and swaying hips. This infographic tracks the rapid stripping of their wealth, detailing the loss of over 20 items of finery, from bangles to tiaras. The opposite side displays the harsh replacements: stench instead of fragrance, baldness instead of hair, and branding instead of beauty. The final devastating metric of this judgment is physical defenselessness. The city's remaining men and warriors will fall entirely by the sword in battle. Unchecked materialism and public defiance of moral law carry an absolute cost. It ends in total humiliation and the complete eradication of the city's defenses. Amidst this destruction, a clear division is established. While disaster overtakes the wicked as a direct payback for their actions, the righteous are assured they will still enjoy the positive return on their own good deeds. The inescapable final consequence of Judah's actions is total desolation. The once proud gates of Zion are left utterly destitute, violently stripped of their pride, sitting alone and mourning in the dirt.